What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. 4-game WNBA Sunday slate, 10K to first. I repeat, 10K to first on a Sunday after back-to-back weeks of $20 into 2K. So I will gladly take 10K. Really interested to see what we get next Sunday with the NFL back in full swing. I'm not expecting 10K again, but I'm going to enjoy this one. Really fun slate here. I did not play the showdown slate today. I was at my younger brother's wedding, so I did play college football, but I took the day off. I pretty much built all my college football lineups late last night, and then just kind of took the day. I kept up with news just in case if I needed to make any pivots, but I didn't play today. It was kind of nice, just relaxing, spending some time with family, but. Looking forward to this 4-gamer. Just wanted to take a quick second and mention tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Central Time, I will be doing a 2-hour Underdog live stream where I'll be live streaming, just going over my thought process behind the rankings that I personally come up with, and then doing some drafts. If you guys want to hop on, ask some questions, they can be DFS related, they can be Underdog related, or whatever, like whatever you guys want to ask. I'll be on just kind of hanging out. And then, of course, I'll be live before the slate starts, 30 minutes before the first game locks. So let's kick it over here and look at these odds, and then we'll go back and break it down team by team. Chicago at Minnesota, 12-point spread, over under 157.5. Indiana at Dallas, 3-point spread, over under 183.5. Woo, buddy. Jeez. Las Vegas at Phoenix, 4-point spread, over under 168.5. Atlanta at LA, 3-point spread, over under 163.5. So 3 really good games. One that could be a bit of a blowout. Let's just go ahead and start with the Chicago side. Kennedy Carter is still questionable with COVID-19. I'm personally not expecting her to play. If she does, it will help them. If she doesn't, I'm not sure this game stays competitive. They have 0 floor spacing whatsoever without Kennedy Carter on the floor. And even with her on the floor, it's not the best. So Angel Reese, 11.4K. You can play her. Obviously, she has big upside. But if she's not getting 20 rebounds and taking 16 plus shots, her floor is pretty low. Obviously, still firmly in play for tournaments. Like I mentioned, if Kennedy Carter is active, I would have some interest at 10K. She's just going to come in and command just a ton of usage. Camila Cardosa, 8,900. She's playing low to mid 30s minutes. I think she's a fine play. Not the best at that price point, but she's playing big minutes, can get you some stocks. Just worry about the offensive upside in a player like her. Lindsey Allen absolutely shot the lights out. If you think she's going to do that again, be my guest. I'm not expecting 35 fantasy points in 25 minutes pretty much ever again for her. But at 6,900, she's fine. Oni Inward, 6K. Once again, shot 13 times. I guess her being the number one on offense when Kennedy Carter's out is a thing. 13, 14, and 13 shots in the last 3. She did get 8 peripheral stats, where before 3, 1, 4, 3. They just haven't been there for. So if you think she's going to continue to shoot 10 plus times, she's not the worst play. She just has very little peripheral upside, and sometimes she doesn't even have like shooting upside. So pretty narrow path for her to hit value at 6K in my opinion. Rachel Banham, 5,500, would net the start again, assuming Kennedy Carter is out. She shot 5 of 15, played 27 minutes, played a lot better than this first start against Washington. So would have some interest in her if Kennedy Carter's out. Everyone else pretty much out on. Just don't want to take the headaches. On the Minnesota side, Nafisa Collier, I'm pretty tilted. Only 31 minutes against Dallas, 17 points. I played her over 21.5 points prop, and she got pulled twice in the fourth quarter. Once with like 8 minutes to go, and I thought Reeve was throwing in the towel. She only sat for about 45 seconds to a minute, but then she got pulled for the remainder of the game at the 4-minute mark. She would have easily hit her points prop. She was playing pretty well. It wasn't shooting it super efficiently to start the game, but really started to heat up later on. They just had nothing for Dallas. Dallas couldn't miss, and that's a theme that we're going to talk about here in just a bit. But love Fee up at the top. I think she's one of the best plays in the slate. I'm not scared of Chicago whatsoever. I think she can do whatever she wants. Only worry with this game is the possibility of a blowout and then her not getting full run. Courtney Williams, 8,800. I think she's fine. I'm probably staying away at that price point. Minutes, they're just keeping an eye on her minutes. Only 23 this last game. I think at most she's going to get like 27, 28. Alana Smith is questionable due to a left ankle injury. So definitely we need to keep an eye on this. It's the first game of the day, so we'll get this news before lock, probably during the live stream, so you'll definitely want to be in there. If she's out, Maisha Hines-Allen would look amazing at 5,200. She's practically a fantasy point per minute player on average on the season for both teams that she's played for, and she doesn't need to score the ball to get there. She just stuffs the stat sheet. She's a great player when given the minutes. Kayla McBride and Bridget Carrollton, both of them are fine plays, especially as like a last play in, like a filler play. They both have decent upside. They can hit threes, get hot, and get you there in tournaments at their price point. Everyone else pretty much out on, besides me, Shines Allen, if Alana Smith is out. Moving on to by far the best game to target on this slate. We have the two worst defenses in the WNBA. Indiana, pretty bad defense. Dallas, historically, arguably the worst defense ever. For the Indiana side, a ton to love here. Like Melissa Smith, assuming she stays out of foul trouble, only seeing 19 minutes. She can get there for 6,600. I think her price has reached a point where in a matchup like this, I don't mind taking shots on her in tournaments. Kelsey Mitchell, if you're ever going to pay for her. She only played 29 minutes against Chicago, 23 real-life points, 26 fantasy points. This is the floor for Kelsey Mitchell, and she scored 23 real-life points. She shot 9 of 13. This is a floor game. Actually, this is like not even close to a floor game. This is a decent game because of her shooting. If she shoots poorly and gets 2 peripheral stats, she's going to score 20 fantasy points. If she shoots well, because she's playing against Dallas, she could go for 40 or 50. So, big range of outcomes for a player like her. Great tournament play. Leah Boston looks fantastic for tournaments. 10.6K. She's been super disappointing of late. These 30s, like 35, 37, 33, 38, 32. Like, this is the upside that she has. 55, 48, 51. 3 straight games right at 50. When teams are going to be focusing on Caitlin Clark and now Kelsey Mitchell, who's really elevated her game, Leah Boston can slip through the cracks and really have one of those blow-up games. Caitlin Clark at the top, I mean, we don't need to say anything about Caitlin Clark's upside. Last time they played, she had 19 assists. Always a viable scoring option as well. She's been stuffing the stat sheet all season, and the scoring has really come on of late. So, love her at the top at 12.1K. Lexi Hull, 5,100. I think she makes for a fine play. She's playing low 30s minutes every night since entering the starting lineup. Obviously, she's pretty scoring dependent. I do want to say that, but you can score on Dallas, so I'm not too worried about that. I think Fag Benlay makes for a fine play. She put up 17 fantasy points in 18 minutes and shot 1 of 6. She just stuffs the stat sheet. They love her out there with Boston. She runs the floor a lot better than Melissa Smith. She plays a lot better defense. I'm pretty high on Timmy Fagbenley at 4,800. Everyone else I'm out on. On the Dallas side, as I was mentioning earlier, this Dallas team is fully healthy. and arguably the most dangerous team in the WNBA. I said it in the Discord last night. I think they end up as the 8 seed. I think they're only like 1.5 game back out of from Atlanta, who's a half game back from Chicago. So in reality, they're like at most 2 games out of the wild card or out of the playoff picture. This team can score with anyone. And if they're hot shooting the ball, good luck beating them. They'll just race you to 100. They have 3 prolific offensive players, like 3 of the best offensive players in the WNBA. Arike Gumbawale playing every minute of every game. Here she played 39 minutes. She got to rest the final half a minute when the game was well in hand, taking massive shot attempts every game. 24, 17, 21, 18 in the last 4. Fully expect her to end up right around 50 fantasy points, assuming she doesn't just throw up bricks the whole game. Natasha Howard, 10.5K. Satu Sabali, 9,900. Typically, I like to lean whichever one's cheaper because they even out to about the same fantasy point per minute player on average, but love both in their matchups. Satu Sabali is going to be guarded by Lexi Hull. Best of luck to her in her future endeavors. She is going to get absolutely cooked by Satu Sabali. Tierra McCowan, 8,300, makes for a fine tournament play. Everyone else, I'm pretty much out on. I think you can play Uzan. I think there's a high probability that she gets the start. She has simply just outplayed JC Sheldon these past couple games. You've seen the minutes shift a lot into Uzan's favor, 31-9 this last game. So definitely keep that in mind. I think she's a viable punt play and would look even better if she starts. 3,800 though, even if she's coming off the bench. I think you can play her. Only worry is if Sheldon starts out hot, it may limit the true minutes volume for Uzan. Moving on, Aces at the Mercury. On the Aces side, Asia Wilson at the top. I don't think this is a spot where you just absolutely must click Asia Wilson on this slate. It's weird. I don't say that very often, but this Indiana-Dallas game is just going to be the stone cold nuts. It's going to be very popular, but I think there's ways you can get some leverage off of that game, even with plays in that game. But I think this is a slate where you can get away from Asia Wilson if you want to. It doesn't mean you have to. She's still going to be one of the most popular plays on the slate, if not the most popular. She is a walking 50 burger, 65 this last time out. I mean, it's ridiculous what this woman's doing. Jackie Young was out last game for rest. Fully expecting her to be back. She looks fine at 9,800. Matchup is really solid. Kelsey Plum, if she can't get there with Jackie Young off the floor, I mean, she's a strictly a GPP tournament play going forward. I don't know. She had a good game with Jackie out, but not like she didn't even get to 30. And like I was expecting 35 to 40, and she didn't even get to 30. So pretty disappointed with how her seasons went. Chelsea Gray, 7,800. She's fine. Playing 27 to 31 minutes. She's okay. Just fine. I'm not ever rushing to play her. Tiffany Hayes absolutely went wild. Started for Jackie Young, 6,400. If for some reason Jackie Young's out again, Tiffany Hayes would be one of the best plays on the slate. Alicia Clark, I figured that they would start her. They did. She played 31 minutes, had a good day for her salary. If she starts again, I think she looks fine. I personally expect her to start again, just with Asia Garden BG, and then Clark. The Phoenix Mercury run a pretty small rotation or small lineup outside of BG, so I fully expect Clark to start at the 4 again. Everyone else I'm out on unless like Megan Gustafson or Kia Stokes was to get the start. Then I may have some interest in Gus. I would not have very much interest in Kia Stokes even if she was to pick up the start. On the Phoenix side, man, this team really like I want to play the starters and like Mo Billings. That's really the only ones I have interest in. Clea Copper has been god-awful bad these past, 4 of 5, and even this game here against Atlanta where she had 32, that's fine, but at 10-5, she's not even paying off her salary there. So she's really, really struggled these last 5 games. I think you can go there. The price continues to drop for her. She makes for a fine tournament play. Natasha Cloud, 9K. I'm staying away. Diana Taurasi at 7,600. I do have some interest in. I think she's going to get quite a bit of open looks, and she's playing at home. Sophie Cunningham, 6,700. She's a fine play. Keep an eye on the starting lineup, though. If Billings gets the start again, would be a pretty big hit to Sophie coming off the bench. Wouldn't like her near as much. And then BG at 10.1K. Fine tournament play. Decent matchup, especially if she's going up against Asia. Asia's not going to get in foul trouble. She's not going to risk that. So BG would get a decent amount of shots up and a decent matchup. I mean, you can score on Asia. She's going to get her blocks, but you can score on her. Last game of the day, Atlanta at Los Angeles. On the Atlanta side, Tina Charles is back. We do still have Aerial Powers and Cheyenne Parker out. So, but the big news is Tina Charles is back, fully expecting her to come back and play 35, 36 minutes. A fantastic matchup for her to come back to. Ryan Howard, 9,700. 4 of 19 shooting. Man, Ryan, I don't know. Great tournament play. She continues to be a fantastic tournament play on usage alone. But she needs to start taking some better shots. Her shot selection is awful. Alicia Gray, 8,500, looks great. They're just playing huge minutes. Their starting guards are playing huge minutes. Jordan Canada, only 26. I do want to mention, I don't want to add her into, Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray are the two that are playing just massive minutes. They're limiting Canada to about 28 to 31, 32. She's still a fine play at 8,100, facing her former team, so maybe she'll come out with a little bit of passion. Naz Hillman, 6,300, fine. Not someone I'm rushing to play. Not really interested in really anyone else down here. I think you could play Nia Coffey if you think she gets extended a little bit or Naz struggles. But she only saw 12 minutes against the Aces. Put up a decent fantasy day. But only seeing 12 minutes is a little bit concerning when they were that short on bigs. On the Spark side, to close out the slate, Ari McDonald is expected to be back. We just got that news a little bit ago. So that pretty much kills Odyssey Sims. That kills Crystal Dangerfield. Not expecting Lexi Brown to play. They've already ruled out Clarendon. Cook is unplayable. Nurse is unplayable. Burrell is unplayable. Really, the only players I have interest in. Hamby is fine at 10.4K. Rakia Jackson has been playing better of late at 8,700. Azura Stevens at 7,700. I think she's a fine play. And then Talbot and Uru both look okay at their price points. Not a lot to love on this team. They're just spreading the usage out so much. And now Ari McDonald's coming back. Going to eat into Sims minutes. And Dangerfield probably gets released or just DNPs. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Be sure to hop in the live streams tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to this slate and catching up with everybody. Good luck to you guys, and we'll see you in the live stream tomorrow.